we started a master. In the morning class, what I did is I started one more machine. Okay, so as of now, the setup is there is one Ansible master node and there are two worker nodes. So all three of them are running. So from my Ansible master node, I will be managing these two worker nodes. Okay, so let me log into my Ansible master machine from here. This is the public IP address. Let me try to log in here. Appearance, change. I'll make it at 16. Okay. SSH, auth, browse. This is the key. Open it up. Let me become a root user. Host name, Ansible, mgmt node. Sudo su hyphen. So now I will log in as ansadmin. Su ans. Now, where is Ansible? So Ansible is here. And here I can see all my things. So this is my host file, role, and Ansible configuration. So what I need to do is whichever machine I want to monitor, I want to keep it here in the host. So see, this is what I have done. I have added 3 machines here: web server with this IP address, test server with this IP address, and one randomly I have put it as new server with this IP address. So these 2 machines are actual. They are worker 1 and worker 2, but this is random, means it is not existing, but I've simply given it like this. See here, worker 1. So 86.146. So 86.146 is here. The other machine is 83.250. 83.250. So these are the 2 worker nodes which I have connected, and this is random. There's no such machine. I've just given it like this. So if I run this command, Ansible -m ping all. So if I want to ping all the machines which are connected, it will connect to the first 2 machines, means worker node 1, worker node 2. Okay, but this machine is not available, so it is giving me unreachable. Now I would like to go ahead and install some software. So let me say git Vikas 99341, and here I have this Ansible thing, right? This is my Ansible thing. And now I'll go here and say Ansible ad hoc commands. And here I want to run these commands. So the first command which I want to run is I want to install a software with the name as HTTPD. So let me just go ahead and do that. So let me say I want to do it on test server. Okay. So I'm saying Ansible, go to my test server and use m is module, yum module, and this server HTTPD should be present. So before going there, what I will do is I will just check cat hosts file, right? And I'm going to my test server. So test server is 83.250. So 83.250. 83.250 is worker 2. So let me just connect to worker 2. Okay. So this is the machine. The worker 2 machine is what I'm connected. Connect. Okay, let me just come here and say sudo su hyphen and su this is ANSATMIN, and I will also change the host name. Sudo host name test server. Okay. Sudo su hyphen. Okay, so you can see root test server is logged in. I would like to change to ansadmin. So you can see ansadmin is logged into test server. Now I want to check whether HTTPD server is there or not. Service HTTPD status status. So it says Unis HTTPD server could not be found because this software is not here. Now from my master machine, I will install that software. So how will I do it? So this is the command which I'm going to run. So I'm saying Ansible, go to my test server, use YAM module and install this software. The status should be present. That will give me an error. It will say that you need to be a root user to do this. So let it run. And here you see it's saying you need to be a root user to perform this command. So if you want to be root user, -B, and you can execute this. Let's go ahead and execute it. This time it is saying complete. Now if I come back here, this guy, service HTTPD status. So I can see now it is loaded, but it is inactive. Now to make it active, what I will do is I'll run one more command. The one more command which I'm going to run is this guy. So I'm saying Ansible, go to my test server. This time use service module and the HTTPD server should be started, means it should be in running state. And I've given -B because I want it to become a root user. So if I go here at the top, it will show me it has started. Okay. And the status is changed. Now, if the status is already started and I run it again, it will not give me an error. Rather, it will just give me a change status as false. Means nothing changed. It is already in a started state. So changed status is false and it is success. Okay. So I will come back here and check whether this machine is up and running or not. So let me come here and say service HTTPD status. Now I can see this software is up and running. Okay. Now I am able to do my work. I have complete control of my worker node. I am able to do whatever I want to. But the problem here is that I am running the ad hoc commands. Now, what is the problem with these ad hoc commands? Now, the ad hoc commands are something which you need to remember. Second, you can't use it n number of times. So if you want to use n number of times, you will have to write something called playbook. So if you come back to my architecture, which I was discussing the other day, so I will be writing playbooks. I know how to use modules and all, but I will be writing playbooks, something like here. Okay. Now playbook is something which is equivalent to your ad hoc commands, but they are like reusable thing. You can use it any number of times. Okay. Rather than just simply using it for only once, you can use it n number of times. So we will write playbooks. So this is how you write a ad hoc command. Now we are going to write a playbook. So let me show you how to write a playbook. So when we come to write a playbook, we will generally be writing a playbook in a YAML format. So if you compare to XML, JSON or YAML, you can see YAML is very simple. Heading, then subheading, and it's a key value pair. Okay. Means whatever you want to write, you can simply write it in a YAML format. And when you write YAML, you can also do one more thing. Suppose you're writing a YAML and it is failing. So you can go and say YAML online syntax validator or checker, and you can come and check your syntax. So whatever YAML script you write, you can check whether the syntax is correct or not. So many a times, if you have forgot a space or anything like that, then it will give you error. So playbooks can be n number of types. Okay. So there are a few playbooks which I have written here. Okay. So we start with a very simple playbook. So we will write this playbook. Okay. Ping playbook.yaml. So how to run this and how to write this. So let me clear all these things first. So you have to simply say nano And because you are ans admin user, you say sudo nano, and the name, whatever name you want to give. So I want to give the name as, again, you give any name, but just for simplicity, I'm giving the same name, ping playbook.yaml. Okay. Now here you can write your script. Now, let me just take the script. And I will say this script is Ansible -m ping all. So the same script, when I was writing an ad hoc command, I wrote it like this: Ansible -m ping all. But now the same thing I'm writing as a playbook. So this is the playbook. Okay, so I have written it like this. So let me remove this. I don't need this guy. Okay. Now, if you see carefully, any YAML file will start with 3-. 3- means a new YAML file is starting. Then whatever you want to write, you can say hyphen and you can start writing. So I have written name to this playbook. I've given a name, ping playbook. Host, which host you want to run or which server you want to run. So I want to run it on my test server. And then what is the task? What work actually you are planning to do? So that for the task also I've given a name and I've simply written ping. Now you will very well say that this is easy, right? Ansible -m ping all, rather than, or you don't want to ping all. You just want to ping this. So just write these 3-4 lines. Why do you want to write it like this? So the benefit is that this, whatever you're writing is one time. You cannot reuse it. But the playbook which you write is reusable. You can use it n number of times. Okay. So let me write this playbook. Control X, Y, enter. Okay. If you want to make some changes, I think we should make a small change here. So I can come here and say LEARNING, learning ping module. Okay, so this is what I've written. Control X, Y, enter. Now the playbook is ready. Can I check? So the playbook is available here. How to run it? So you say Ansible -playbook. Okay, Ansible -playbook. Okay, and then you give the playbook name and then where you want to run. Okay, so let me say I want to run it on test server. Okay, so I will say -i hosts, means take the IP address from the host file. Okay, and I will say --limit. I don't want to run everywhere. I want to only run it on test server. Or even if you don't write limit, because it is already mentioned in your playbook. In the playbook, it is mentioned, right? See, run only on test server. So it will run only on test server. So you can run it like this: Ansible -playbook, the name of the playbook, and host file, wherever your host file is present. Okay. If you just want to check the syntax, you say --, syntax check. So say I am doing a syntax check. Okay. See here. So it gave you the output like that. It did not give any execution or anything. Simply gave the output, means it is correct. Now, if I want to run it, I will remove this guy and I will run it. See here. It is saying playing the playbook, gathering facts, and it is able to go here and the execution is happening, learning ping module, and okay in the sense it is done, means the state is reachable. Okay, so this is how you write a command, or this is how you write a playbook. First you write a playbook, then you run the playbook using Ansible -playbook, ping whatever your playbook name is, and where you want to run, you mention it, -i hosts. Similarly, let me say I have a different playbook now. Okay, and in this playbook, I have some variables. So I'll say sudo nano variable Okay, I've done a small mistake here. Okay, I will rectify it. So if you see here, I'm writing a variable playbook. I'm saying host is test server. And if you see here, I'm declaring two variables here. Vars, one variable is name and the value is Vikas. The other value other variable is number and the value is 45. Then in the task section, I'm saying use debug module. Okay, so there is a module called debug. And in the message, I'm saying the value of this number is number. So whatever is the value here will be printed. And then again, I am running again in debug module and I'm saying message, hello, name. So name, the value will come from here. Okay, Control X, Y, enter. So I told you I made a small mistake. That small mistake was that should be variable playbook dot YAML. So just rename it MV dot YAML. So the extension should be there. Okay, it's saying permission denied. So let me say sudo and then try doing it. Now it is okay. So now you see this variable playbook YAML is ready. How can I run it? Ansible minus playbook. Okay, then the name of the playbook and then -i hosts. Now this -i host you can ignore. Why? Because ls -l, the host file is here only. Okay, if the host file is somewhere else or you are running your code from somewhere else, then you need to mention the path where your host file is. But the host file is here only, so you can ignore it. So you can directly write like this. Ansible minus playbook. And then
what is this -i? -i means it will search suppose host file in some other path means.
Tell me again.
-i you're giving that previously.
-i means you're specifying that this is my host file. This is the place where you have to go. Okay.
But we are not giving any path. Okay, where the host file will be there, that path you need to go like that we are telling.
So as of now, it is not required because the path is there only or the file is there only. But in case the file is somewhere else, then you need to say -i and the complete path or the absolute path of that host file, whatever it is. So first, let's do a minus check if everything is okay. So if you do a minus check, okay, so it is trying to show you, okay, I should have done syntax check. Minus syntax check. Okay. So if you do a minus syntax check, it will just check whether the syntax is correct or not. And if you remove this minus syntax check and simply say Ansible playbook and name of the playbook, it will execute it. And you can see here, it is first connecting to this machine. And from here, it is saying the value is 45 because in the variable, I have declared it 45. And here it is saying, hello, Vikas. This Vikas thing is coming from the second variable. If you want, you can check your playbook. So this name, the value is coming here. And this number, the value is coming here. So now you see here that not only reusability, but I can also declare variables. In fact, when I start using playbooks, along with that, I get a lot of features. Adding variables is one of the features. Then this time, let me say I want to execute some shell command. Okay. So let me just start some shell command. So I'll say something like this: sudo nano shell playbook.yaml. And I'm going to add this entire thing. So more or less, you will see the format is same, only the modules are getting changed. So see here, the first module is saying the name. This is starting, this is hyphen name. And then it is saying that the name is shell playbook. Again, you can give any name of your choice. Okay, one second. So name can be anything. So name is whatever name you want to give. Then the host is whatever tag you have given in your host file. Then tasks. In the tasks you are trying to mention, first is the name. You are saying system running duration, from how long the system is running. So I am running a shell module and the command is uptime. And whatever is the output of this, okay, that is going and sitting here. There is a special kind of a variable called register variable. So whatever is the output of this uptime, because uptime will tell you since how long the machine is running. Now, whatever is the output of this command output of this uptime will sit here in register. Okay. And then after this is done, I will use debug module to print the output, standard output. Okay. So many a times this question can be asked. I have two steps. Okay. Step one, some output is coming, and step two, I want to use it. So you have to use this register variable. This is a special kind of a variable, or this is a system defined variable, which will contain the output of the previous executed step. So if you see here uptime, so whatever is the output, it will be stored here in register, this variable. And then later you can say register variable command output. So command output dot standard output lines means whatever the output is, show me the output. So register variable, remember that. Now I will run this Ansible minus playbook. Okay. Shell playbook.yaml. Let's run it. Okay. Now see carefully. It ran and it says command underscore output standard output lines, and it is giving you the entire thing. It means it is running starting from here UTC time, and this is running from last 22 minutes. There are 2 users who have logged in, and the average load is this much. So here the most important thing is this register variable. Because of this register variable, the output is getting stored and getting printed. Okay, so remember that the register variable is doing the task. Now many times you will see that there is a conditional execution. Conditional execution means if this is true, then do this. If this is not true, then don't do this. Something like that will be there. Okay. Let's come here. Sudo nano.
Can you explain this register one, just register variable just and just.
Okay. Okay. See, everything is same here. There is no much of a difference. The only difference comes here. So there are 2 steps. Step 1. So 2 tasks, you can say task 1 and task 2. So generally what happens is if there are intermediate results, or if there are some variables in between, okay, then the output is not stored. So whatever is the output of this shell uptime, so it will be executed, but there is no special variable where you can store it, because it's a system defined output. So you can't store it. So to store a system defined output, you need a system defined variable. So that system defined variable is register. And here to that register, I have given the name as command output. And now I am saying that there is a variable command output, which is a register variable, and command output's standard output you show me. Debug, show me this output. So when you run this, it executes everything. See here, it is system running duration. So it has executed it, but in which task it is showing you? It is showing you in the debug step. So there are 2 steps here. See, one is this guy, system running duration, and the other one is debug step. So in the system running duration, it is not showing you anything because it does not show you anything. But then in the debug, I am just using this command output, standard output lines, and here it is showing me the output. So many times there is a requirement where you say that whatever execution happened in step 1, I want to store the value of that step 1 and use it in step 2. So in that kind of a scenario, this register variable or a special system variable, which is also called as register variable, will be helpful for you. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
and sir, the commands which you are using, no playbook commands, all it is like This many commands only, or many more are there?
Commands are many, but these are the most, like 90% of them will be covered here only. If you go to Ansible modules, there are many modules, okay? More than 1,000. But we don't use all of them. See here, all modules. You can see there are so many modules. So many modules. For Azure, AWS, so many are there. But we don't use everything, okay? So there are many modules, more than 1,000, I guess. But you don't have to use everything. Okay. Now let's go ahead and say sudo nano conditional.yaml. So in conditional.yaml, I will try to put a condition. Okay. Control X. Okay, I'll show you the code first. Let me take the code. Language is YAML. Okay. Now, if you see here, 3 times dash, host is all, means run everywhere. Don't limit yourself to test server or DB server or anything like that. Run everywhere. Then there is something called become yes. Become yes is become true or become a root user, because there are many places where normal user will not have access. So become a root user. And here is the condition. Name. So I'm trying to install a web server. If it is a Red Hat or CentOS. So I'm saying yum, the name of the software is HTTPD, and you have to install the latest version of the software. But if the Ansible distribution is Red Hat, then only run this piece of command. Okay. Similarly, if the Ansible distribution is Red Hat, then only start the service. So if you see here, there is a when condition here. So it simply says, when the Ansible distribution is the machine where you are running the code, or the host machine where you are running the code is a Red Hat machine, then you run this piece of code here, there. If it is a Red Hat machine, then run this piece of code here. But if it is not a Red Hat, don't run this too. This too is not to execute. If your machine is a Ubuntu machine, then run this. Okay. If it is not a Ubuntu, leave it, don't run. If it is an Amazon machine, then run this set of command. First step, second step. So these are generic scripts. The generic scripts means I want to write one single script, and based on that, I want to see what is happening or what action is going to take place. So I know my machine is a Amazon machine. So these steps should not be executed. Red Hat, Ubuntu. Rather, this machine should be, or this step should get executed. This is my expectation. Control A. So this is the code. Okay. Now let me run it. Running is very simple. Ansible minus playbook. Okay. And then the name of the playbook. Condition.yaml. See here, it is gathering facts. Okay. Now see very carefully. Installing it on Red Hat CentOS, that is skipped. Okay. Fine. Wait, let me first come here, show you the host file, cat hosts file. So if you see here, 3 machines are there: web server, test server, and new server. So I already told new server is not a genuine server. It is just like that only I have kept. So when you run the command, First, it is gathering facts. For first machine, let's start here. So I'm running the playbook. It is able to connect to my worker 1, able to connect to my worker 2. But for the third machine, it is failing. It is saying failed to connect. So third machine, it was not able to connect. Then it goes step by step. Do you want to install it on Red Hat or CentOS? So it is skipping because the machine is not a Red Hat or a CentOS machine. It's an Amazon Linux machine. So these two steps are skipped. Start a service, skipped. Again, is it a Ubuntu machine? No. So skipped. Is it a Ubuntu machine? No. But it is a Amazon machine. Yes. Now when Amazon machine comes, it says okay, 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 okay. And finally, when it shares the report, it says, this is an Amazon machine. I ran 3 commands here. It was reachable. Okay. And 4 lines were skipped. Similarly, this machine was not reachable. So unreachable 1. And this again skipped 4 commands and ran only 2 commands. But so this is a conditional execution.
Yeah, but where is the code for checking the OS actually? Like it is Ansible will check.
See here, when Ansible distribution equal to Amazon.
Okay, okay. Like
So,
this will be useful for different OS servers, right?
You can make it as Windows. I want it to run on Windows. So you can write something like this: when Ansible distribution equal to Windows.
Okay. Like suppose we are having 100 worker nodes, in that 50 are Linux and 20 are Windows and 20 are Ubuntu. Like that means it will work for
yes,
us.
it's a generic script. It's a generic script. Accordingly, it will go to your worker node, check what is the Ansible distribution or check what is the operating system on the worker node, and accordingly it will go and execute that set of command.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions here? Okay. Now, let me go further. So, I will write this thing now. So one very good thing what you see here is by sitting on your master node or Ansible management node, you can completely take the control of your worker node. So I will say sudo nano dot YAML, and I will take this piece of command. Now, if you see here, it says, please, can you repeat the script writing, sir? See, script writing, I can tell you, but see, you have to follow the format. Okay, wait, I'll show you. Now, see, whenever you write a YAML script, the first line is dash, 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 means 3 dashes will be there. Okay, the template remains as it is. You don't have to change the template. You just have to change your content, like dash, 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 hyphen, and name. Suppose you don't like this name, server details. So you change the name. Okay. Then host, let the host be as it is. You don't have test server. You have written as production server. So you change the name of the server. Your remote user is a different guy. You don't want to run it via ANSADmin. You want to run it via root user credentials. So you write become true. But the standard will be like this only. Okay. Don't change the template. The template standards will be like that only. Once your basic things are written, like name, host, and who's the remote user, you go with the task. In the task, step by step, you say what all you want to do. So if you see here in the task 1, this is tasks. Task 1, I am saying use yum module and remove the package absent. So I'm saying httpd package should be absent. Then I'm saying this should be installed or it should be present. So first it will uninstall that component and then it will install it for me. And now I can run it. So I can say.
So because in YML, I can see some spaces. So we have to maintain the same
Yes,
space.
the spaces are mandatory.
Okay. Okay.
See, it's a key value pair. So this is key, this is the value. So key followed by a colon and then spaces.
Okay.
Anytime if you have any confusion, take this piece of code, go to YAML online validator, YAML online validator. Okay, and you can check, go. It says it's a valid YAML. Suppose I missed a space here. Okay, go. See, it is showing you that this place there is an error. So you have to fix it. Go. Okay, so to start with YAML, I will always recommend go with any online YAML validator. Makes your work very easy. Sometimes while typing the steps, you may end up typing some unnecessary colon or unnecessary step, or you miss a comma or miss a space. So that will become a problem for you. Your jobs will fail. So we want that your job should not fail, at least because of the syntax issues. Okay. The major problem is that, see here, even if the problem is here, so I see the problem is at line number 3, but it is saying the problem is at line number 4. So these things you have to take a little bit into consideration. Okay. Many a times it will not exactly tell you where the problem is. But one thing which you should keep in your mind always is that the indentation, the alignment should be proper and proper spacing should be given. This is very important. Okay. 90% of the problems will be when you are writing it and you miss something. So see, I am copy pasting it from my GitHub repo, but I would like you to write it, because if you write it, no, you get confidence. You will get small errors. So these small errors you can rectify. Okay. And then you can run your content. So it will give you confidence. Plus, when you go for interview, there are many chances that the interviewer will say that, do you know how to write a playbook? Yes. Can you write a small playbook for me? So you can then and there write a playbook for the interview. So these things will build your confidence. Okay. Anyhow.
Because in the host, we have only one server right now, so a test server. If there is in the production, there will be 50 plus servers. So we need to make it as a comma and write all the server names.
No, not comma, not comma. It is not comma. I showed you one by one. You keep writing like this. This, then don't give any comma. Next line. Okay. See here how they have written server 1, server 2, server 3, server 4. So this is anyhow commented, but you don't give any comma. Next line.
No, in the playbook. I'm asking about in the playbook.
So
how
in the
to
playbook.
write.
Got it. In the playbook, if you want to run it at multiple places, yes, you can mention comma and then you can write it.
Okay.
Okay, so I have this install HTTPD, this thing. Ansible minus playbook. So what it will do, it will first remove the content and it has failed. It says become a root user and then do it. So I can run it as -b. So here gathering fact, removing HTTPD. First it is removing. So it has been removed. Now it is installing it again. Like this, if you have 100 servers, you just give the IP address of those 100 machines on your host file, and automatically it will go to all the machines and do the task within 2 minutes. So you don't have to spend a lot of time here.
Sir, are we writing playbook in different by using different scripts and commands in this?
No, see, scripting language will be one only, YAML. Okay.
Only the commands are different.
Commands are different. See, it will totally depend on what work you want to do. Suppose I have written a conditional YAML because the requirement was different. I wrote install HTTPD YAML because requirement was different. Variable YAML, shell YAML. So it will totally depend on what kind of work you want to do. Based on that, you will be writing your script. But the format is more or less same only. Okay. it will be more or less same. Your name, host file, remote user or root user, then the task, what all task you want to do.
Okay, and how do we come to know that conditional ML will be used in when and shell will be used when?
It will be on your requirement, right? See, if you have to, suppose you have to update 500 servers. Okay, out of 500, 100 are Windows, 100 are Linux, 100 are Ubuntu, 100 are some other. Then you can't write it unless and until you use a conditional variable.
Okay.
So you have to like read the use case, then understand, and then do your work.
Got it, sir.
Because one more thing, during the playbook, if something we need to install with different OS, the packages, do we need to get it from the specific, like Tomcat? We need to get a specific package for Ubuntu.
In that case, suppose this guy only. So you don't mention just the package name, you give the complete path.
Okay.
Okay, so let me say you download it to your local machine, and from your local machine, you give the complete path that you have to take it from here. Now I have simply told HTTPD, means it will randomly take it from internet. But let me say you want a particular version. So first you download it in your local, and in your local, you mention the entire path.
Okay.
Okay, now, now I'll show you something here. Yesterday, I spoke about idempotent behavior of Ansible. So when I say idempotent behavior, I'm trying to do something like this. Wait. Okay, let me just run something and show it to you. So much noise. Wait a second. Let me take this guys. Lamp stack YAML. Sudo nano lamp stack.yaml. Let me go inside. Okay. Now try to understand this very carefully. Okay, this is a little bit heavy, but a lot of things will be here. So here it says start a playbook, 3 dashes there, minus host. So I want to run it on test server. Remote user for me is ANSadmin. So as an ANSadmin, I want to execute all these things. There are tasks, or there are a list of things which I want to install. So I say name. I'm going to install Apache HTTPD. I'm going to install MySQL, and I'm going to install PHP. So you can see here, yum. And these are the softwares which I want to install: HTTPD, PHP, PHP MySQL, and I'm saying state is installed. Means in step 1, I'm going to install 1, 2, 3 softwares. In one shot, I will install these 3 softwares. Once these softwares are installed, in the second step, I'm saying this HTTPD service should be enabled. So enabled, yes. And for that, I will use service module. So this is step number 2 for me. Okay. Then in step number 3, I'm saying there is a file index.php in your source, etc Ansible. As of now, it is not there. I'll create it. You have to copy it to destination. Destination is your, this guy, the test server. Test server is the destination. You have to copy it there. So in your test server, you go inside var www html and copy this index.php. Now, there is an important thing here, something called notify and handler. Okay. Now, handler will only run if it is notified. I'll repeat. This last step, handler. Handler will only run if it is notified. Notify will only run if there is a change here. Okay, I'll come to that again. Okay, first let me just go and create an index.php. Then I'll explain this again. Okay, wait, let me copy this thing first. Sudo nano index.php. And let me take a sample index.php from somewhere. Sample index.php code. Let me copy this thing. Okay. This is a code. Okay. ls minus l. See here, there is a index.php. Okay, here there is a lamp stack YAML. If I go into my lamp stack YAML, again I will go step by step. 3 times dash. The host file says it's a test server or it is going to run on test server. I have to be an Ans admin to run this. Task 1 says install Apache, MySQL, and PHP for me. So these 3 will be installed using yum module, and this is installed. After it is installed, using service module, I will enable it. The state is started, or I have started the service. Okay, enabled is yes, and I have started the service. Then the third module is a copy module. See here, copy module. In source, there is a file called index.php, which I just now created. It will be copied to your destination. Force is yes, means forcefully, even if there is a failure, you forcefully copy it. Okay. Now, if this condition is changed, or this condition is satisfied, or this copy is happening, then only notify will run. If notify will run, then only this handler will run. So it is like this. If this runs successfully, it will go and tell notify, and notify will tell handler to run. And in handler, the service will be restarted. Okay, let me run it and show it to you. So I will say Ansible minus playbook. Okay, and I am going to run my lamp stack YAML. Just see carefully what all is running. Okay. Okay. Installing Apache. So it has failed. It says you need to be a root user. See here, it is saying you need to be a root user. So this is failed. Okay. Let's clear it. How to become a root user? -B. This time it is time to install Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Okay, it is changed, means something happened. Changed, something happened. Copying the file, changed. Now, because copy of the file was changed, the handler was executed. So because copy of the file changed, notify ran. Because notify ran, handler ran. Okay. See here, just remember, OK is 5, changed is 4. Now, again, if I run this file is already present. This file is already copied. I will run it again, and you see the difference. See, do you see a difference? Earlier it was changed. Now it is OK. Means the software is already there. I have not done anything. OK. OK. Copying the file. OK. Now, if you see carefully, did the handler run? The handler did not run because this file is already there, already copied, no change. So when there is no change, notify was not notified. When notify was not notified, handler did not run. See here, handler did not run here. But if you see here, copy of the file changed and hence handler run. Can you show this thing to me again? Sudo nano. I'm going to change my index.yaml. Sudo nano index.php. I'm going to make a small change. Okay. Hello world from Ansible. So now when I say copy the file, the content has changed. So it should run with the new content, and hence the notify should be notified and the handler should run. See, this changed. Because it changed, the notify worked. Notify worked and it notified my handler, and hence the handler restarted. So if you see the code here, in this step, there is something called notify, and notify will notify my handler. So handler will only get executed if this notify works. This notify will only work if this step changes. And this is the idempotent behavior of Ansible. If the step changes, it will notify. If it will notify, handler will run, else handler will not run. Kind of a conditional execution.
Not only this thing, like for other code also notify and handlers relation is same, right? Suppose another thing.
If you write notify here, then you can notify. But here we see, I'm saying notify, restart HTTPD service. So it is going and telling this guy. So if you write a notify step here, then you have to write a different notify. If you write a notify step here, then you have to notify a different handler.
Okay.
Okay. So from my side, I have done for today. If you have any questions, please go ahead. Okay, if no questions are there, I will drop. We need
because one question. Generally, for Ansible as a DevOps in production in a company corporate, so what are the things they will do with this Ansible with the configurations
Ansible, Ansible will be mostly used for deployment. Okay. First is deployment and the second is configuration management. So now I am teaching you the configuration management part where they will ask you to write these playbooks, scripts basically. Okay, for deployment.
That is basically to manage n number of servers.
Yes.
Like a token. Okay.
That is configuration management part.
Okay.
You are managing all your servers. Okay.
Okay.
Later down
when
the
it
line.
comes, when it comes to the deployment, that is related with the Jenkins.
Yes. You have to install plugin and then do the deployment via Jenkins, via Ansible. So that I will show you later.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Vikas. Thank you.
Because Ripcord will be using for what? Another tool.
Tell me again.
Ripcord.
Ripcord. I don't know, man.
RIP keyword. It looks like Jenkins kind of things. Means automate the thing.
I don't know, man. I've not used it. Don't know. I'm not aware of that.
Because this code here notify thing, before notify, if there is any change, notify will work, right?
Yes.
Before
Only
function.
if there is a change, then only notify will work.
Okay. Before function should be, there should be any change, then only it will notify will work. Okay.
Yes.
Only before function or previous one is it won't affect, right? Only
no.
before.
Wherever notify is written, there only it will affect.
And sir, one personal question. In my company, there is an opening for 2 to 3 years of experience guy for DevOps engineer. If anyone is there, please let me know. It will help me also to learn along with him also.
Okay. You send me your email ID. I will have few people who are looking. Or
The only hands-on experience guy only is required.
Okay, fine. I will see if I have people. I'll share it on the group. I will share it with everyone.
Yeah. If anybody is there, then please let me know. I'll send my email ID to you so that they can share the resume and I can send it to the guy who can do the interview.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, guys. So please practice and I'll meet you tomorrow again. Okay, see you then, guys.